Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today we've got a brand new story to share with you. So let's begin. I didn't think up this sneaky trick myself. I saw it ages ago in some comedy show. There was this office worker who kept ducking out for his own stuff, but he always left his coat hanging on his chair. And wherever he went, even just around the office, he'd carry a file full of papers, making it look like he was busy working or at least rushing off to something important, not just goofing around. It wasn't my idea, but I used it a lot and it always worked. Mark, my fiancée Lisa, said one morning over toast, "I'll have to stay late tonight." "Oh? What's up?" I asked. "Work stuff." "No." She looked a bit awkward, though I couldn't quite figure out why yet. "It's just that Ben, his girlfriend dumped him." "Ben? Your ex?" "Yeah, and well, he called me yesterday and he's really down. He needs someone to talk to." "Sorry." "Wait a minute, Lisa. Your ex, the guy who dumped you for someone else, got dumped himself, and now you want to comfort him?" "Well, yes." She blushed, knowing it sounded wrong, but she kept going. "It doesn't mean anything about us, Mark. It's just being a friend." "Lisa," I couldn't help but say, "this is totally messed up. Remember? He left you. You weren't just a little sad. You were crushed, depressed. I was the one who helped you get through that. And now you're worried about him. I just feel bad that he's hurting." She frowned. "I feel a bit responsible. We didn't have much time to talk, and the timing was awful." Later, I realized she'd probably avoided bringing it up the night before because she knew the truth. I was her backup plan, her safe place to hide until the storm passed. Our breakfast ended with me saying, "You don't owe him anything. You're with me now. He's in the past. He left you for someone else. Are you trying to make me feel guilty about him? I didn't expect this from you. I'm going to him no matter what, and don't you try to stop me. You're just jealous and insecure." She snapped. She didn't come back that evening or that night or the next morning. Her phone didn't ring. I wasn't blocked. Not yet. Everything clicked. Maybe I should have been relieved we hadn't set a wedding date. But that kind of thought comes later. Right then, all I felt was the gut punch of realizing I'd been fooled for a year, that I was just a convenient option. "I'm staying with him. We both realized we made a mistake," she said that evening, showing up at my door without a hello, without even trying to explain or apologize. "And what about me?" "Sorry," she mumbled, almost like it was nothing. "So all this time I was just plan B? Ben was plan A? Don't be stupid. It was a mistake. I honestly thought things were over between us, and I was real with you, Mark." "Lisa," I said with a bitter smile, "what if I told you I'm really down now? Would you leave him and come back to me? Is that how it works?" She just shrugged and started quickly grabbing her things. Not all of them, of course. Over the past year, my place had filled up with her stuff. The next few days were a dark blur. I changed the locks the very next day. The thought of her showing up with Ben while I was at work was unbearable. Walking through my home, sorting through our things, and who knows, maybe the guy would even want to mark his territory, sleep with my fiancée in my bed. They probably did come by and couldn't get in because Lisa texted me saying they'd come on Saturday to get her things. Conveniently, after unblocking me just to send that text, she blocked me again. A work friend, someone I could actually chat with about normal stuff, listened when I told him about the breakup. After a moment, he said, "You know, when they come for her things, it might hit you hard. They're probably all lovey-dovey right now, you know? Even if they don't say anything mean, it'll feel like they're laughing at you. Want me to come by for support? Or I can even handle it for you. I don't mind. I'm just not sure what you want to keep and what you want to give them." I thanked him, but right then, I was staring at my jacket on the back of my chair. The same jacket that had been working overtime that week to pretend I was actually at the office. I could barely stand being there, let alone get any work done. I just wanted to get drunk and often slipped away to avoid seeing or talking to anyone. When they arrived in a rented van, I put on a carefree face, or at least I tried. But I couldn't miss their smug little smiles and the way they kept looking at each other. It just made things worse. I was pulling Lisa's stuff out of drawers and closets, and I wanted to cry. Then something inside me snapped, like a spring breaking. I suddenly remembered school, the bullying I went through, how I had to stand up to almost the whole class. It never got into actual fights, but they tried to shut me out. And I probably wouldn't have handled it if I'd acted like the typical outcast. Instead, I boycotted them right back. I ignored their wall of coldness. I'd come in every morning and cheerfully greet everyone, not expecting an answer. I didn't ask for help or any questions. I acted like nothing had happened, kept smiling. I even got a kick out of it, walking past some of my tormentors and casually saying things like, "Hey Mike, cool pin, I should get one like that," without waiting for a reply, then walking off, leaving the idiot standing there confused. Was it a boycott? Or was it some kind of weird conversation? I only had to fight once, when one of the guys tried to take my pen before class. After that, no one tried anything physical again. What was left was just that invisible wall of ice. They held it up for about a month, and then I got to have some fun deciding who I'd let back in and who I'd keep ignoring. That's probably the upside of being an introvert. A certain independence. Not complete, of course, but enough. It helped me back then, and now I put the mask back on too. Hey guys, why the rush? I said with an almost real smile. Someone gave me a great bottle of wine, but I can't drink it all myself, and drinking alone is kind of sad. They exchanged surprised looks. Lisa shrugged, and Ben, who I knew liked to drink, nodded. I laughed, almost genuinely, and brought out the bottle and some glasses. For you too, I said, raising my glass before they could say anything. Honestly, it's wonderful when people can hold on to love for so long. I'm a little jealous, really. It's amazing that neither of you gets jealous, I added, winking at Ben. Not everyone can enjoy themselves knowing someone else's. Well, if you don't know if she slept with someone in secret, it's no big deal. But to know for sure that just hours ago something was happening in there, and even after a rinse, there could still be a few little swimmers left. I winked again at Ben. Imagine scooping them out with your tongue. What the hell is wrong with you? Lisa snapped. Sorry, I always say the wrong thing. I mumbled awkwardly, then turned to Ben and added, Forget it. Forget it. I was never really that into her anyway. Yes, we didn't do that, Lisa shouted, her face turning red. We always used protection over the past year. There had been different situations, sure. I often used protection with her, but towards the end, Lisa had started using birth control pills. There you go, I smiled. She's not lying. Neither of us is. Lisa slammed down her glass and snapped at Ben. We're leaving, Ben. Come on. Just a little more, I said with a smile. Okay. I said something stupid, sorry. We're all adults here. Wait for her outside. She'll be right out. And without asking, I refilled Ben's glass. I was right. He couldn't leave a glass unfinished. Lisa shot us both an angry look and walked out. I leaned towards Ben and whispered, Try from behind. Tight as hell. I rolled my eyes dreamily. She might resist a bit at first, but if you give it a little pressure, she ends up loving it. I chuckled. Come on, we both know what she's like, right? Maybe one day the three of us could work something out. I never quite had the guts to bring it up, but maybe you'd have better luck convincing her. Ben's face darkened, and he stared at me with anger. He put down his empty glass and walked out without a word. I let out a quiet sigh of relief. The performance was over. Whether he believed it or not didn't matter. What mattered was that I got them to stop looking down at me. And if I managed to ruin their evening and plant a seed of doubt in Ben's mind, then I'd already had my little revenge. Let Lisa see I wasn't exactly falling apart. Lisa called the next day, hysterically demanding I tell Ben that I'd made everything up. I immediately realized she had me on speakerphone for his benefit, so I kept up the act. Lisa, come on, what's the big deal if I said we did it from behind? What is he, that naive? You liked it, didn't you? You bastard. You never did that, she screamed. Lisa, don't freak out. If it's that important to you, I'll say whatever you want. I'll even say we never did anything adventurous at all. Want me to tell him we only had missionary sex twice a year? Hand him the phone. Is he nearby? Let me talk to him. I promise I'll clear it up. You pig. I hate you, she yelled and hung up. And I still love you, I said hopelessly into the dead phone. A day later, she showed up, starting an argument right at the door. I let her in. Once again, she demanded I clear things up with Ben. And once again, I played along, suspecting she might be recording the conversation. Then things took an even more delightful turn. Ben showed up. Your guy's here, I told her. Should I open the door? He's not too jealous, is he? Oh right, we've already established that. Shut up, she muttered. I'll wait in the bedroom. I don't want to explain anything. I opened the door, fumbling with my pants just enough for Ben to notice. Oh, Ben, I exclaimed cheerfully. Good to see you. I stretched out my hand a little too eagerly, so much so that it looked fake, then quickly pulled it back. So sorry, dirty hand. Let me wipe it off. As if to check what I just said, I brought my palm to my nose, sniffed, nodded. Yep, 1 second. I grabbed a pack of wet wipes I always kept on the table near the door and dramatically wiped my hand. Want a drink? I'm here about Lisa, Ben began grimly. And what makes you think she's here with me? I asked quickly, glancing at the bedroom door. She could be anywhere. Besides, she loves you. Ben looked me straight in the eye. I don't recall saying I was looking for her here. Are you alone? Look, why don't we talk outside? I replied, answering his question with another and glancing again towards the bedroom door. Wait for me. I'll be right out. Sure, he said. Just need to check something first. And with that, he shoved past me, something I didn't resist at all, and stepped towards the bedroom door, flinging it open. Turned out perfectly. Lisa had probably been crouching by the bedroom door, eavesdropping on our conversation, and when it suddenly swung open, she lost her balance and fell into the living room. "This isn't what you think," I blurted out immediately, even though no one had asked. "We didn't do anything." Ben froze, his eyes darting between me and Lisa. I launched into a rapid-fire explanation as if Ben had actually said something. "Ben, don't worry. There's no reason to be jealous. Just because a guy and a girl end up in a bedroom doesn't mean anything. Besides, she loves you. Keep it together. Nothing's happened between us since she decided to be with you." "Well, almost nothing. Nothing happened. I just came over to talk," Lisa mumbled. "We wouldn't have had time for much in just an hour anyway," I added. "You know she likes it to last, and so do I." "Both of you shut up," Ben barked. "I need to be alone." With that, he turned around and stormed out the door. Lisa looked at me in confusion, clearly unsure of what to do next. "It's better not to bother him right now," I said. "Give him at least a couple of hours. He needs time to cool off. That was a mess. Here." I took the phone from her hand and pressed the power button, turning it off. "That's so you don't end up saying something you'll both regret in the heat of the moment." Of course, the real reason was that I didn't want Ben to reach her. I wanted him to imagine anything but the truth. "I unintentionally made things worse for you." "I'm sorry," I said with a smile. "Have some tea? Calm down a bit? And then I'll take you to him myself. I promise I'll explain everything, apologize, say I had a breakdown, that it was just a tantrum. You'll see, he'll understand." "Why are you doing this, Mark?" Lisa snapped angrily. "Do you honestly think you can win me back like this? If it weren't for your behavior, we could have stayed friends. I didn't even hold a grudge. I didn't. But now you're in." "Lisa?" I kept apologizing humbly, promising to make everything right. While inside, I was savoring my revenge. I wasn't going to suffer alone. Lisa gradually calmed down, and we even had some tea. I kept talking, mostly just distracting her with small talk, secretly pleased that she had forgotten about her phone being off, which meant if Ben had tried calling, he now had every reason to be jealous. And I was right. About 40 minutes later, Ben came back. Just before he arrived, Lisa warned me. "Don't you dare say anything else like before." "I gave you my word," I said, and I kept it. I simply placed a torn condom wrapper on the table by the entrance, right where Ben couldn't miss it. And he didn't. When I opened the door, his eyes immediately fell on the golden square. His face twisted into a grimace. He shot me a furious glare, then turned and stormed off. What did you say to him?" Lisa jumped up. "Nothing, I swear," I replied. "I'll drive you to him now and do exactly what I promised." I really did drive her to Ben's place, and I walked her all the way to his apartment door. She tried to refuse, but I acted like a gentleman and carried 2 bags of her smaller things. I made sure to stay on her left side so she wouldn't notice the left side of my face too closely. But when Ben opened the door, I deliberately turned so he'd see the lipstick mark on my neck. Now, any woman would have recognized it for what it was. Just a smudge of lipstick, a streak, not an actual kiss mark. But Ben was just a guy. How would he know the difference? In any case, the message landed exactly the way I intended. I went home, and for the first time my mood, if not great, was at least lifted. I suddenly realized I no longer wanted Lisa back. That whole performance had ripped her out of my heart. 3 days later, in the evening, I answered the doorbell. Lisa was standing there, clearly upset about something. "Can I come in?" I poured her some gin and opened a beer for myself. "We broke up," she said. "He kept accusing me of sleeping with you these past few days. You set it all up on purpose, didn't you?" I tried to explain to him it was your revenge, wasn't it? "You don't have to say anything. I already know. We said so many awful things to each other. You know, in a way, I'm glad you did all that. I had really forgotten what he was like, and when we started fighting, I remembered. It was a good lesson. And I realized I don't need him. I need you. I realized this past year was the best year of my life. No one's ever cared for me the way you did, Mark. I don't ever want to see him again." I wrapped my arms around her, pulled her closer, and whispered softly into her warm ear. "I'm glad you realized that, and I'm glad you came. All my things are still at his place," Lisa said as she leaned in to kiss me. "That's nothing," I managed to say just before our lips met, and after a long kiss, I added, "He won't ruin them, will he? We can always pick them up later." It was a night of intense intimacy. Lisa was both tender and passionate. She kissed every part of me, her lips were everywhere, and her tongue explored every inch of my body. When I put on protection before we made love for the first time that night, she looked surprised, but I reassured her, saying I trusted her completely. It was just Ben. She didn't dwell on the incident, though I did catch a fleeting shadow cross her face. In the morning, I brought her coffee in bed and took my time admiring her sweet, sleepy face, her serene smile, and the gentle look in her eyes as she gazed at me. Just before leaving the house, I kissed her again and, with slight embarrassment, asked if she might please me one last time. Lisa, who just a few weeks ago, before our breakup, would have been outraged by such a self-centered request, simply smiled sweetly this time and obediently knelt down. We drove to Ben's place, walked up to the door of his apartment, and I gently pulled Lisa close and kissed the corner of her lips. "I'm going to miss you, Lisa," I said. "I'll always remember our year together, and the farewell gift you gave me will forever remain one of my fondest memories." Mark, was all she managed to say, her mouth slightly open as she stared at me helplessly. "I can wait in the car while you grab the essentials? And tell me, where should I take you? Where will you live now that both your ex and I have thrown you out? A friend's place? A hotel? What do you mean?" I thought we... No, I just wanted to try you out. Precisely when you were hoping to fix things, I figured you'd put in extra effort. And I was right. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.